Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk and a miserable Monday experience. All right, not your usual miserable Monday. It's not going to be a bunch of little failures, but a couple of big failures. We're going to try to make this a learning experience as well. So, what I want you to do right now is consider, think about, and potentially write down in the comments down there before we get going. What is it that you believe loses most, if not, call it many, a lot of matches? What do you think? What's the in your opinion, the number one thing that loses matches? Now that is to some extent a subjective question, but what are some of the possibilities that people might be writing? Here's the things I don't think it is. I don't think it's matchmaker. Remember I said most or the majority or many or however you want to put that. 51%, let's call it that just for giggles. I don't necessarily think it's matchmaker. I don't think it's overpowered tanks. I don't think it's RNG. I don't think it's the other team has cheaters. What are the other usual suspects? It's not the maps. Did I talk about overpowered tanks? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. All of those things clearly have an effect on matches, and there are certain situations where those things will absolutely come into play. So I've mentioned this multiple times. I'm sure some of you have been around for a while, know what it is, at least what I think it is. Let's put it that way. Everyone's got an opinion, and they all stink, right? Just like that other thing. So what is it? Well, I think the majority of games are lost at some point during the match by continuing to push bad situations. In general, it's continuing to push one flanks and walking into bushed up either people at the cap, the enemy cap, or some strong position that you won that flank, at least the initial part, and morons just keep mongoing into the same spot. They don't reposition. They don't think about what's going on in the game. They don't pay attention to the flow of the match. They don't pay attention to the mini-map. They don't have a single shred of tactical thought in their cranium. Could be for lots of reasons. Let's go ahead and get going on this one. We are here on Sand River. I think there's probably a portion of people out there, fellas, for whatever reason, who are never going to get it. So we're not talking to them. This is an outreach attempt, once again, by me. I think a lot of you have learned this. I know I've learned it. And there's a lot of nuance to it because it's not so simple on every map. You can't just necessarily put one size fits all. But the general idea of win a flank and then come up for air and consider the rest of the match is solid. And honestly, it's one of the most important, if not the most important, and the strongest way or the best way to increase your win rate. It really truly is. So when you're playing the game, you're in a match, you go to a flank, you pick your flank for all the various reasons you might do that. We'll talk about this match in just a second. When that flank is won, come up for air. You've been busy. I have it. The same thing happened to me. You're trying to win. You're trying to save hit points. You're trying to delete hit points from the enemy team. You're trying to take the flank. All the things that you're doing. Once that happens, and it looks like you've won that, come up for air. Hopefully, you've been able to kind of watch the rest of the match go while that's happening, and that kind of depends on how busy you are, where you currently are fighting. But once you have some time, whether it's during the fight or after you've won, somewhere in there, if not multiple times, gather that SA and go, all right, what else is going on? What else is going on and where do I need to go? And more importantly, where should I not go? Sometimes where you should go is informed by where you should very obviously not go. And I think that's one of the biggest problems because people don't really think about that. They win a flank and they just Mongo rush in there. Like I said, some people just aren't ever going to get it. Doesn't mean they're not a smart person or good at whatever they do in life or whatever. Or they just mentally can't do it. That's just the way it is. You're just going to have players on your team. Who I'm talking to are players who are attempting to get better, who are thinking about this, who can use some of this information and maybe improve their win rate by a couple, 3, 4 percentages by not Mongo rushing into bushed up campers and taking a look at the overall situation in the match and then put your tank in a better spot. Bottom line is move your tank somewhere better than just driving in, losing hit points and dying. Doesn't that seem like a really basic, extremely powerful tactic in the game. All right. We've taken the north. I said we'd talk about this. On this map, and this is a great example, and I've showed this one multiple times. On this particular map, Sand River over here, one side or the other is typically going to win the north. One side or the other is typically going to win the middle. And then there's the south. Now, if it is a romple, what I am talking about today is not the 15-1 immediate smash, everyone dies on the enemy team, and it doesn't matter where you are, you're killing everything. Okay, that happens. Got it. That is absolutely not the majority of the time. There is usually up to about halfway, just to throw a stupid number out, somewhere a third of the way to half of the way, most games are pretty close, roughly. And that's where you can make some money in going to good places. You will notice that we have a bunch of tanks up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to include one of our heavies. I don't love that, but okay, he's up here. If there was any resistance, we'd have probably smashed it, unless they sent a bunch. But they didn't send anything. So all of a sudden, this flank is, air quotes, won, but we haven't done anything. We haven't taken any hit points out. We have some terrain that we control. We're about to chase off the leopard and the skull. But other than that, nothing has been accomplished here, fellas. And the middle's in trouble. So if you came up for air, you looked around at the mini-map over here, and you're like, oh, shoot, dang it, okay. Not great positioning over there. I mean, we got a heavy all the way in the south. We only have one heavy in the middle. That's the Teschenrat. There's a breaker down there. They should be able to hold not too long because it looks like they're pretty serious about pushing that. The enemy team has put a heavy down in the south, so you got to pay attention to the whole thing in here. Not everyone's making great decisions here, but it's fine for the moment. But the question is then, what does this north push do? Now, I'll give you one guess. You guys can think about it, write it down in the comments, whatever. Because I'm making this video, I think you probably have a good idea about what is going to go down here. Okay, we have some middles, some mediums caught out in the middle here. That went right behind him. So I think we're doing okay. We have great position. We should be able to punish these guys, tear them up, and that's going to get us a couple kills, and it's going to get us some more territory here. Man, I thought that was my kill, but the skull got it just before I did. So 3 guys up there. We kill the skull. We kill the leopard 120. Let's see if there's anybody else hanging out here in the north, and then let's all go where, guys? Where should we go? Look at the flow. Look at the flow. Oh my goodness. All right, so the 120 is going that way. Looks like the 803 is pushing. Looks like maybe the hacker. He's saying S. I don't even know why he's saying SOS. What on earth? What does he need help with? We absolutely dominated this. The Imbatable, I don't know what he's doing. He's maybe headed back up. I missed him. Did he come all the way from behind? Even worse. The skull, but let's see what all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks do to include me. Chasing off the Borken. And now they're all going to do what? Remember what we said. Don't go to the worst place possible. Find out where the worst place possible is, and don't do that. Also, pay attention to what the rest of the battle is doing. You can notice that the middle is in big trouble. We're okay. It looks like our Teschenrat and the Breaker are actually holding on to their hit points decently. So let's reposition and help these guys out. What's going on up here? The Leopard, the Skull, the 803, the Imbatable, and the Hacker are all pushing onto their cap. Like I said, somewhere around 1/3 to a half of the game, you're more or less in it. Look at this. We're okay. We've swept the north. That's fine. At least we're not going to get threatened from that direction. The middle's in trouble, and the south is having trouble as well. So we are losing 2 flanks by force, and we've won one more or less by default, although we did kill a couple mediums up there. So I'm going to flex down here. I'm going to try to help the south, and I'm a little late getting here, unfortunately. Not that I might have a whole lot of firepower here, but if I'd have been there a little bit earlier, I might have got 2 or 3 shots off, and now, unfortunately, they've killed our KR-1, and I get to here, and I don't really have a shot. And I'm trying to get one here that says decent. Oh, God, everybody's in the wrong position, and I will just do crit, no damage. And now I'm in trouble because I'm getting pushed by a Borken and a Leopard. We're down 4 now. The middle is starting to fall, and check out what's going on up in the northwest, guys. What possible outcome did they think was going to come of that push? Do they really think, with only down 2-4 or a 2-4 game, with multiple of their tanks probably camping, looks like the Hirschkoffer's there, the Imbatable's falling back, the 432U is hanging out at cap, the Borken's back there, the Sturv can spin around and shoot them. What possible outcome? Now, if you believe that that push is good, I want you to write that down in the comments. Because I will tell you it isn't. That is a horrible decision. There's too many guns left. It's too easy for the enemy, take into account this map, too easy for the enemy to fall back. They're not being pushed in the south. They're not being pressured in the middle. Everything can go back if they want. All you're doing is feeding them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 6 guys that went north are pushing into their strong defended position. For what? They think they're going to get on cap? You can't. That cap is really exposed. So it's not like you're going to cap out. The only way to push onto that cap is to take all kinds of hit points of damage because it's a strong defensive position. We don't have the middle. The middle can swing back and shoot at them anyway. There's nothing. There's not a single bright bulb within those 5 players. An absolute throw at this point. An absolute throw. And I'm not doing a really great job. Although I get away with it here because they miss me for some reason. I generally don't get missed in this situation much. And then he's going to actually hit me, and I don't. Not only does he not break it, it's only a crit. The other Borken comes in. I'm about to run away, and I said, whatever, we're in such big trouble. Let's see if we can beat up this Leopard and Borken and take these guys out with the R2 Borkens. Borken Dorken. Here he comes. We'll shoot him. There we go. Nice. 374. I put the little X on him. Now he's taking some extra damage. X for extra damage. Don't really do a great job here. I think I'm being clever by going to the right. I really should have gone left because I'm going to run in. I don't quite reload, and I don't want to jump into the cliff, and unfortunately I eat another shot there, so not fantastic work on my part. 3-7, and the guys are continuing to push. So the hacker died because he was out in the middle in the buildings and got shredded by the Sturv and the Borken spotting him and the guys up on the hill and yada yada. And now we're trying to come up with something here, but we don't have it. All of our strength that's left is pushing their cap. They're all over our cap. They own the middle. They've retaken the north. Nothing good is going on here, fellas. I was hoping I could sneak by him without being seen, but that did not happen. He's not looking at me, so I'll just take a cheeky shot there. He's got 1,700 hit points, a bunch of armor. Like, am I going to get another sneaky one on him? Maybe. Let's get him, buddy. Here we go. Nice. All right. He's chasing. Oh, he didn't like that. He decided he didn't want me shooting him in the back anymore. Didn't want to chase the other Borken. And we're just going to run away. Run away bravely. Somebody just missed me. Great. You? How about you? No, that's... You didn't hit it. And the push dies. It's just no mystery, fellas. There's no mystery here how this game was lost. And about 1/3 to 1/2 of the way through, we were fine. Especially... Alright, so I've told you what we did wrong and what happened, obviously. What should have happened. Well, all 5 of those guys in the north should have just moved down to the middle. Either fall back to the cap or move to the middle. Blunt that attack in the middle, or if they came like I did all the way back to the south, most of them are very maneuverable. Even the 803 is pretty fast. Get back to the cap and kill their aggressive players who are pushing our cap. Let them push the cap that's defended. I think it's pretty easy. I think it's obvious, it seems to be, to me. But it's not obvious to a lot of people. And if you're more casual and don't care, and maybe you're not bright, I don't know, all the possible reasons why you wouldn't really give a crap, you're probably just going to push a flank, win it, keep pushing, and move on to the next battle. If you are indeed interested in getting better at the game, especially from a positioning and repositioning standpoint, the concept of win a flank, come up for air, and go somewhere better is solid. It's essentially the game. That's the game. That the positioning and repositioning part of the game is go somewhere that's good for your tank, that's good for the team, good for the map, all that kind of stuff. Win there, and then go somewhere better. Go somewhere better. And better is not pushing in typically to flanks that are well defended or ignoring that your other flanks are losing and your cap's getting threatened. It just really seems pretty easy, guys. All right, Miserable Monday. Got another example for you, though. All right, second example. Karelia is classic for this. You've seen it a million times, but it does serve to represent the kind of issues that people have in this game by continuing to push bad situations. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going to... Oh, boy. Look, I'm glad he missed. Actually, he didn't miss. He bounced. Somehow I bounced a Leopard 1. He's raging. So, we're going to push up here. I don't particularly like going here. This is a fast tank. I haven't figured this thing out. It's not very good. I like its speed. Decent vision. Oh, gun's okay with a 300 Alpha, but I haven't figured it out very well. Oftentimes I come here and get dead. In fact, I would be absolutely... I don't know how he hit that, but he did. Sure. I'm waiting for a shot, and he just pops out and zaps me. But our IS-7 pushed in, so great. I'll use that. Theirs did as well, so let's see if we can finish these guys off. Hanging out here, are we going to get any more help? Yeah, not so much. Our dudes are a little bit further back. Charioteer looks like he's making a bold move right there, so he may get around the corner. So when we get 3 on 2, then we probably got this. There we go. All right, so Charioteer has showed up. He's ready to help. Our IS-7 is not very bright. He's kind of losing hit points and doesn't really know how to do this. I go to fast mode. I'm like, all right, Charioteer, let's get this push. As soon as somebody shoots and they get serious, okay, then I go back to not fast mode, so I'm dithering right here. And this is a great example of what I was talking about last time, that I'm busy. I'm busy on this flank. We got to win this flank. The rest of the flanks, they're on their own for the moment. I don't really have a situation where I can reposition. We need to take these guys out as soon as we can here, and we're going to give ourselves a really good situation with killing their IS-7 and their RU-251, provided we don't lose too many tanks. Our XM's getting beat up. I'm going to try to track him. I wish I'd have done damage as well, but I'm shooting heat, so did not. And, all right, great. Let's come up for air. You won the flank. Are we winning on every flank? Not necessarily. It's 2-2. Pretty close on hit points. Looks pretty standard here. Although we've won this flank in terms of positioning. We're in good shape right here. But we can pork that away easily on this map, just like you can on the other side. They're not mirror images, but they're both played very similarly. If one team loses the donut here, the other one has good spots to fall back and good TD positions. Artillery as well. There's already in the game. There's 2. The dumbest thing you can do right now, the absolute dumbest thing you can do, is be these 2 bozos right here, the S7, the WZ, and try to push around the corner. On a 4502, a T32, a bushed up Leopard, and God knows what TDs. RHM, Su-130, Sturb, XM57, and 2 Arty that are unaccounted for. I mean, my God, guys. Please. Please. Sure, go up there, maybe do a side scrape and peek. Maybe you can catch out the Leopard. That's the guy I'd work on. If we can leverage the Leopard and somehow get rid of him over there, that gives you more options. But right now, a strong push around this corner is going to get shredded. In addition to that, we don't really have that much here. The Contradictus, I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's in the field. Okay, great. He's down the marsh. Whatever. Nothing you can do about that. We have a T-54, TS-54, and Contender kind of holding off the Northwest, which is okay. You got to have somebody there. And we still have 3 Goombas, one of them being a Leopard 1, great, sitting at cap. All right, so not my favorite positioning, but not terrible, and we're okay. But the worst thing to do is to take these hit points, and they're still on decent hit points, and start frittering them away against a full hit point 4502, a T-32, who are all around the corner, and all their defending cast of characters. This should be so obvious to anyone who is attempting to get better at this game that is such a dumb move. All right, here we go. Have I beat that dead horse? No, I believe so. At this part of the game, well, the Renegade now becomes kind of a priority for the game. And honestly, I just gave the Contradictus a bunch of crap, but check him out. He served a purpose. He's keeping the Renegade. Now, the Renegade's not going to be able to come up the hill. And all of a sudden, the guys camping at the cap look like heroes because they have some capability over there as well. And that's fine. This part of the game, as I come up for air and look at all the different flanks, I don't see an obvious good flank to go to. Potentially all the way back to the northwest, but right now I like this high spot, and if we can find anybody being stupid, maybe like the Renegade or somebody in the middle, we might get some shots. I'm going to come around here, though, initially. I'm kind of curious if we can work on this Leopard or where he is. And it turns out he's actually not there anymore. He's bailed out of that spot. The problem with that rock is it's not really survivable once the donut is lost. You can hide behind the rock, but you're going to get artied. And every time you poke out, you're going to get spotted. So he's bailed. And it looks like we're starting to lose up the northwest a little bit, although then they killed the M6Y. All right, so that looks good. We're in good shape. Look at this. It's 5-3. How about IS-7 and WZ-114? We don't continue. Look at all the hit points they've lost. What on earth? Ouch. We're up 5-3, but only 300 hit points right now. Part of the game where now you're going to start to poke and prod and figure out where that weakness is that you can start to work. I like this map for that case because it's actually pretty cool. You've got the middle to sort of work around, lots of bushes for light tanks, although we don't have any left. They are all dead because they're Muppets. I do have the CVS loadout on this tank for this mission based on this map. That's why I chose it. I have a combat loadout and the CVS optics loadout, so I'm trying to maybe catch somebody out. I keep checking those two heavies there, though, and I'm just like, great, guys, please stop losing hit points. Because if we lose this side of the map, then we're in trouble, right? We've got to fall back. This whole middle thing, all these guys up here on the hill are all of a sudden going to get shredded by their dudes down on their cap. But what do? They just keep pressing, guys. Look, more hit points gone. Fantastic. Good job. And I'm watching the north thinking, where's the best place for me to be? The worst place for me to be is trying to poke around that corner. I just don't have the armor. It's not going to help us. I can't push into those guys. God knows how many TDs are there. Seems to be a lot because guys keep losing hit points. Once again, let's just go through the Murderer's Row. RHM, Su-130, Sturv, XM57. Honestly, why are you still trying to poke around that corner? All you have to do is look at the map, look at the situation, look at the tanks that are unspotted on the enemy team. Wargame even gives you that information now. The little light bulb lets you know. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 TDs unaccounted for. They don't have much map. Maybe one's in the middle, I don't know, potentially. Let's say even just 2 of them are there. That's what too many to push in. The G-Swords, I don't know, man. You know, this is the thing. This is why we're doing the Miserable Monday experience here. You just got to ask yourself, WTF, fellas, why are you doing this? We're in such a good spot. Okay, I know there's a Kalana and a CS-52C over here. There goes the IS-7. And that's when I knew things were going to start going poorly over there. Because I'm figuring more than likely that 4502, he had lost some hit points, but I bet he's still on decent hit points right now. Contradictus is wandering around in the middle, making a push across the middle. What on earth is that? You're a heavy going across the middle with a bunch of bushed up TDs. The Windhund has made an interesting move. He's snuck up pretty close. RHM is following up. And let's just talk about that move, guys. Is that... is the middle the best move for the Contradictus, RHM, a Windhund? Say you looked at this match and went, all right, where should I position? What's a terrible place to go? For me, it's the middle right now. There's just too much. The Kalana last seen here, and who knows where the 52C went? They have a Leopard as well. He's been seen, but that was a long time ago. They don't have much map. I mean, there's probably a couple over here. There's certainly guys here, and that's well within spotting range of these guys. Now, there's a lot of bushes, but my goodness, guys. What? I don't understand, man. I don't understand. At least the RHM is somewhat further back. There is a small argument to move up into the southwest part of the middle of the swamp so you can get draw range on guys. There is a small argument there. Look at that. The Windhund. I don't know what he was doing. Trying to push up on... Okay. I like the contender. He's going to double tap this guy. He's not paying attention. Schwack! All right, fantastic. I saw the hit points on the CS-52C. I'm like, all right, how are we going to get rid of him? Well, that's great. He's not a one-shot to me, so I'm not going to let them know that I'm here. I like that Artie's taking a shot at him. By the way, that position where he is not very defendable against Artie. There's like a V right there. I'm going to show you in just a second because I kill him. Boom, he just got hit, by the way. Did you see that tracer go in and no dust kicked up? He took a direct hit. All right, let's go to fast mode and get him lit, and either have the artillery kill him, or I will do what I end up having to do here in a moment. Uh-oh. Not liking what's going on over there now, fellas. Leopard's getting aggressive. That means those guys don't have a lot of hit points. We're about to lose that because our guys kept pushing. Lost hit points. Alright, great. We killed the Leopard. But, uh-oh, their XM57 is there, so lots of armor, probably lots of hit points right now anyway. They've decided they can retake. This is the part of the match where you can really start counting noses based on where guys are lit. And I think they know that they kind of got this dicked down here. Okay, that guy's shot. Honestly, I probably should have come around the corner and taken him out earlier, but I'm worried about the RHM, the Su-130, and the Sturb just triple teaming me. I'm like, yeah, let's kill him. No, let's hit a wall because I went auto aim, center mass, and he was able to get his center mass right behind the rock. So then I go to plan B, which is to show you the little V right here. Although I didn't realize there's a stupid rock that brings your hole up. Watch this. Come in. Already takes a piece of them. I'm like, okay, and nope, not enough suppression. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm up higher on that rock. And I get artied. But it doesn't stop me. Who stunned me? Was that my own arty or theirs? Not sure. Might have been theirs because I don't think I took any damage. Or ours, I mean. Okay, so great. We've killed him. Let's come up for air again. Man, what do we do? Guys in the middle are dead, other than the RHM. The Windhoek push died. The Contradictus is a big heavy. He got seen. Guess what? We just lost the donut down there. The Charioteer is in trouble. There's an XM57 and 4502. What ends up happening here, which is the good news, is the Charioteer bushes himself up and hides, and those two, we'll keep going here. It doesn't look like they are ready to push up on over there because they know they're going to get shot. So they're not able to take the high ground. We'll see what happens to them in a minute. We are getting some spotting from the RHM, I believe, right here. So let's just go with that. Opportunistic. There's no reason to run away from the flank yet. We have shots. I'm not pushing, but we got guys getting lit. And I think this is a lot the argument that people continue pushing flanks will have. They'll say, well, yeah, but if you spot them and keep pushing and keep killing them, then great. I would agree with that. My point on that pushing a flank that's bad is when they're bushed up well enough, they're not lit. If you have a light tank getting up there and getting lights and you're able to shred them, fantastic, man, go for it, you know. But Mongo push, that's what I'm talking about. The Mongo push just at them without really getting lights, you know, scouting by fire, not really a great idea. Okay, the XM57 just drove up on our cap. I'm like, great. I knew that was probably going to happen. I was hopeful that the Charioteer was keeping them busy enough that they weren't going to go around him, but that is not true, unfortunately. I'm just hoping the Kalana doesn't somehow spot me while I run away here. By the way, this tank has fast mode and slow mode. That's the X you'll see right now with the little circle in the middle. When it's cold, it means you're in fast mode. Your dispersion is terrible in fast mode. It's not super fast. I mean, I'm doing 70, but I don't know. For a tank that's supposed to have fast mode, I don't know why 75 and 70 feels so sluggish in this tank. I think a lot of it has to do with its specific power. Its horsepower is not great, so it does take a while sometimes to get up to speed. And then the whole switching between taking X seconds is a major pain in the rear end. Getting better at it. All right, let's go back to the cap. Boom, pause. Hold on, fellas. What are we doing? Why is the Leopard and the Contender pushing? The Contender may not be able to get away. He may not be able to get away because he's up against that rock, and I don't think he can make a move without getting hit by the TDs in the background. So I'm not really mad about him. Why the RHM is so close, I have absolutely no idea. He may have been doing some of the spotting. It's pretty impressive he actually got that close. I wish he didn't. The Leopard, what on earth, dude? Why are you there? We have a complete situation going on back here. If you and I went back here and the RHM was still, I would say the RHM really needed to be about here-ish in these bushes. If the RHM was further back, the Charioteer able to shoot across, the Leopard and I come back here and clean this up, we'd be in really great shape. Okay, I know this is a low spot. I should be able to spot whatever it is. What is it? Oh boy. All right. Yep, let's just back out of this. They have two arty. I need to be careful about their arty. They're probably not looking here right now. Oh my god, geez, I don't know. Do I do this and get a pixel snipe on my hatch from the XM57. Alright, he went dark. That means he isn't seeing me. Great. Let's get out of here and move over here, because I feel like the Artie is now going to be paying attention to me. Contender dies because I don't know what he's doing. Kalan is moving around. He has all kinds of help, by the way, guys. That's actually a pretty good move on their part. He's got several TDs back there camping. He's finding these idiots who are way too close, and he's taking them out. He also knows that there's pressure on the cap, or near the cap. Kind of surprised the Charioteer is still able to do what he's doing. It looks like the 4502 did not push up there. There goes the Leopard. Great. And all of a sudden, what was really looking like a positioning win, with just some good decision making on repositioning by our team, turned into a Muppet show, with guys continuing to sit on flanks. Just sit there. Alright, RHM got the Kalana. That was a good kill. Probably got him spotted, would be my guess. Why the enemy team isn't pushing up the cap and tearing up the RHM, or coming around and dealing with the Charioteer and taking the high ground. Good. That's good news for us in general, because I felt like at this point we're about to get pushed from every direction. And it may be that the Charioteer is punishing them every time they get lit, because for some reason they're unable to find him. Now I know there's probably an XM57 still up here, and I really want to know where this 4502 is. I kind of expected both of them to come across the cap and take me out. And I was hoping that if they did, the Charioteer would get some shots. There's the Artie guessing that I might still be sitting by that rock. Not a bad guess, but that's why I'm not at that rock. It's also why I'm not randomly poking around the corner. Let's talk about that for just a second. It's a small tactical situation. I see this a lot. People will get behind cover like this, and then they'll just keep peeking and poking. Like, hey, where is he? Oh, where are they? Where are they? Well, who cares where they are right now? If they get close enough, they're going to get proxy lit. Also, they're probably going to have to come across that circle just to get to me anyway, unless they really go out of their way. So more than likely, I'm going to get plenty of warning. And why continue to poke? To either let them get a lucky snap on me, or let these two clickers click on me. So no sense. Although now one's on the cap, so that's interesting. That gives me some information. Kind of wonder which one it is. That's that guy. Yeah, that did no good. Got me lit, kind of figured. So let's just turtle up here, make that Artie shot as hard as possible. Kind of expected one to come in. He's, interestingly, very low hit points. I didn't know that till now. So where is the XM? Like, huh, that's odd. So the 4502 pushed up. He was there. Now one of them's on the cap, and now I'm getting very curious. I'm like, I really wonder if one is pushing me. So I'm going to have to go see what's going on here. And oh, okay, kind of what I figured. The XM is uninterested in me sitting here anymore. Artie takes a stab. Thank goodness. I think he was shooting the large HE shell. What do we have? A Su-14 and a 261? Or maybe an AP shell? Don't know, but I didn't get any stun out of that, which is very helpful. The XM getting hit by, I believe, the Charioteer works for me because it brings him down to a one-shot, and I'm surprised that he does this, but I'll take it. Boom, down he goes. I kind of figured I'd get hit on that, but that'll work for me. Let's turtle up. And great. The 4502 is letting me know that he's still over there on cap. We'll move around a little bit. And now I'm reacting. Good on the artillery for repositioning. Good on their Sturv S1 for actually getting a little bit aggressive. And honestly, their team should have won this easily by now. Just a little aggression. Going around here, I'm in fast mode. Try not to knock down any trees so they don't see me coming. At least see the trees knocked down. I'm going to try to sneak around behind this guy. I'm going to get a little bit unlucky here. Like, oh, there he is. Okay, get a little zoom. He's not paying attention. Oh, he started to move just in time. I only got it into the front wheel. Artie misses. Works for me. He fixes it, but he's got that slow turret. I know this. We'll circle around, and down he goes. But we're at a minute 19, guys. I waited too long. Sort of lost track. Not sort of, but definitely lost track of the time. And now we're just in reaction mode. We're going to go ahead and get down to slow mode with more accuracy. Hopefully someone hits him. There we go. And try to finish him off. Doink. Down he goes. Go back to fast mode, and we're going to have to charge up the middle. Meanwhile, the RHM is just sitting there. Charioteer is finally moved off his position and come to help. I was going to be clever. For a moment, I thought I might be able to go to the donut, but I didn't have time, so I really needed to go straight through the middle. I do have hit points to give, so does the charioteer, but we're in trouble now. We got 37 seconds. You might think there's no way to get anything done with only 37 seconds, but I'm going to show you that there actually is. We're going to get one more kill out of this. Whatever, damn the torpedoes. We're not going to win unless something very spectacular happens. If all 4 of them push down the hill and somehow we shoot them in 21 seconds, unlikely. But I do come around the corner and I do find there are RHMs still hanging out in the same spot. And we get a pretty lucky moving shot. Such a terrible dispersion. And that guy takes a stab. I don't know if he was shooting me, the RHM or charioteer. It might have been the charioteer. It didn't look like it was coming to me. And unfortunately, we now have a draw. So I've got a 6 kill, 1,950 damage, 1,994 assists. And another example for miserable Monday of positioning and bad decision making, guys. Bad decision making. Going to places that aren't very helpful. And especially the heavy push that continued to happen on the corner there. We'd have been in great shape. All they had to really do is just hold those guys off right there while we worked elsewhere. The G-SOR going in there, the Leopard messing around, all that stuff adds together, and it's just terrible positioning. Probably I won't say an easily won match, but I think it could have been won if we especially did not bleed so many hit points down there in the corner after we'd won the donut. There's other ways to do it. The IS-7's fast. You know, that IS-7, he could have pulled back, turned around, and gone all the way around the other side and done some good work over there with the contender. There you go. Let me know what you think down below. That's what I think loses more games than anything. I think it's probably one of the biggest limiting factors on players going from average to good and above. The very good and super unis and all that, they understand this and they do it very well. They do it faster than I do. They make better decisions on it than I do even. But if you're a very average player to slightly below average and you are interested in increasing your win rate and doing better, there's all the mechanical pieces of how to play. There's the tactical locations and how to play positions. But then there's the big picture of how to read the match as best you can and make good decisions on where to put your tank. And I guarantee you, it is not always go to one flank and keep pushing. Loses a lot of games. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. See ya.